No doubts. Okay, well, one of the questions that I got from one of the participants, I don't exactly remember his name. I think Anubhav. So Anubhav asked me a question that why the elements on left and right both are aligned, they are on different line. Means you can see whenever you make that yesterday's task, if you have completed yesterday's task, wait a second, I'll just open VS Code. Okay, if you haven't, uh, today most of you would have installed VS Code, I think. Okay, so if you haven't still installed, just do it today also, you can do it, no problem. Just press CMD and write code dot, it will automatically open the Visual Studio Code for it with the files present here. Okay, so here's one of the file and there's one untitled file. I'll not use it as of now. So for today's day we can take a new file. Okay, add space. Okay, so can anyone give a brief what did we study yesterday? Just a small introduction. Those who missed it, they will know for them.
Come on, guys, you can give some input.
Yeah,
Yes, no, or whatever.
yeah, anyone can just.
So yesterday we talked about the header tag and the paragraph tags, the difference between the div and the p tag.
Hmm.
Also, we covered the footer and the header part, and the left and the right aligned center tag. We also seen about the center tag.
Okay. Okay, so everybody is asking why there was left and right in next line. So for this, we have to learn CSS to do it, but there's one manual method. Okay, so can anyone of you tell me if suppose I write a text here. Okay, I'll just copy this and use it for today's day. Date, date. Like in case of this, suppose if I write left and right with one space. Okay, and I think that's day one. Day one. Yeah. So here's the live preview for it. So suppose if I add multiple spaces here, it doesn't show these spaces. So how can we add space here if we want to? If we are able to manually add space here, then we can move this to the right side. That's a manual method. Then how can we do it? If any one of you know how to do this, like how to move the cursor to extreme to, so that there must be two spaces in between. Currently have only one. Okay. Any ideas? Okay. So there is a specific keyword. Okay. It's you need not remember that. Okay, so there's something called as special keywords like which are present to give space. So this is the keyword for it, and nbsp dot. Yep. Yeah, yes, great, both of you answered it, very good, very good. If you know that, that's okay. If it's at the rate, it's and. Okay, so that must be mistype. Okay, so basically use and at the rate nsvp. So this is a keyword for Unicode. You can go to you can learn about Unicode library. There's specific keyword for everything, for copyright, for different words. Like for every word you see on website, there's a keyword for it. So whenever we use this, we can nest it. We can use it any number of times. So that adds space manually. So now you can see we can add space here. So similarly, if you want it to move to extreme right, you can do it like this. But this is a pretty long method and this is not following the rules of HTML, so we won't use that. Instead we'll use two different tags and keep them in one in left and one in right, so that's completely fine. Okay, So this was one of the things. Okay. Can anyone tell how to write comments in HTML? Okay. So like suppose I want to write a comment. This is hello world. So how will I write it? In other languages we use just slash and we write like this is hello world. Okay, this is hello. Okay. Okay. Any one of you? Yes. Yes, that's the correct answer. In HTML we have to use Angular everywhere. So this specifically whenever you have to add a comment you have to use these for it, Angular bracket starting, and there's a shortcut in VS Code if any one of you knows this how to write the comment. If you select a particular text and you want to comment that completely out, so how would you do that? Eh,
Control and slash.
Very good, very good. Okay, if you know, if you are using VS Code from a long time, this is a shortcut, and it's really, really helpful whenever you have to, like, suppose you have to delete a particular element and see if it's working without it or it's working with it. So very great, great. If any one of you knows, this is really good habit. Okay, so use control slash always. You can directly write comments, and whenever you're writing anything, try writing comments. That's the best thing you can do. Whenever you go into your corporate life, if you are planning to get a job in CS, then it's best to write comments. Okay, so if somebody sees your code, he'll be able to understand it directly from the comments. Okay. Everything is clear. If any doubts you can just tell me. Sure. And you won't see comments here. Okay, so whenever you type a comment, it won't be visible here, but whenever whenever you, if your collaborator, if anyone of you is collaborating with anyone in project, they can see that from there. Okay, so that's the advantage of it. Okay, next, today what we will do is we will, okay, suppose in case today we'll do how to add an image. Okay, so anyone knows how to, like, give me an image from internet which you like, we'll use that image. Okay, any image. You said, yeah, that's great. Okay, Lisa also answered it, very good. Control slash, yeah, we can use img tag. And can anyone give an image, like we can use img tag. Yes, img src is used for it, but can anyone give a link to image? Okay, okay, let's view the image first if it's there. Okay, that's a cute dog. Okay, we'll take this image. Okay, that's a smaller link, I'll use this. Okay, so as we are done, yes, we can see the image here. Okay, so yes, if you want to center align it, we'll keep it in center too. Okay, so so let's write dog, that's better. Okay, so this is how you add image. Oh, suppose in case if you want to if you want to add adjust the height and width of it, like if you want to change the length of it, like this is currently it's convenient to have this size, but in case if I want to make it smaller, so how would I do that? Any one of you? Anyone if they know? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you can say if you don't know, you can say no. Then
Yeah.
you can just say yes.
Yes.
So
Even
just to
that's
make.
good.
Hmm.
No idea. Very good. Okay, that's great. Okay. Okay. So there's something called as size. Okay. Do you can try out here by using width and height. That's the right answer. Okay. So we have an attribute width. We have an attribute height. Okay, so but it's generally convenient to reduce the dimensions of both of them in the same model. So like suppose if you're taking height as 100, width as 100, you can keep height 150. So knowing that, keeping the ratio of this in mind and reducing it, that's the better thing. So see, if I reduce it the size of the dog, the image of the dog is not distorted. but if I try to change the height to too high, the image gets distorted. So try keeping the ratio same. You can calculate the ratio by 2 is to 3, something like that. You can use a calculator and check. It's 200 by 300, so I can directly say it's 2 by 3. That's why I've used a lower number. So you can check that. Always don't destroy the images by changing the width and height to certain number. That's not possible. Okay, so that's always convenient. Okay, as we are done with a website, we are done with the image tag. Any other attribute you know about image other than this? Any attributes?
Alt tag.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's one of the most important tags. So there's an attribute named as alt. So what's the use of alt attribute?
It gives the you will get a text if the image is not loaded, like if it's taking time to load the image, we can write a text related to the image so that the viewers can see
Okay, very good.
alternative to the image.
Yep, yep. Okay. Suppose in case if you have forgot to write the correct link for it, so you can use this, or many in many cases like have you heard about blind and blind, or some people, like if suppose if in case I write 30 here, the okay, it shows the image still. Okay, if change it to I stage, if I change it to I, now it will show. So in case if somebody is blind, if they are blind, okay, if they are blind, they can, if they want to see that particular image, they have a specific browser for it, and in that browser every image is read as the alt text to them. So whenever there's a logo there, it will be read as logo for something. Logo, like suppose if you are visiting a Zomato site, yesterday we did that. So every object will be read like that. So this is Zomato, it will treat it as right side logo Zomato, left side hamburger icon. So this is known as hamburger icon. So every image, everything present there will be read like that, and it should have an alt to that. So that's a good practice. Always try writing alt for it. So whenever if you miss a particular if you miss it, you can always do that. Okay, great, every one of you knew this, so that's a good practice. Okay, other than this, any attribute you know about image?
What if we want to add an image from our internal storage? How is that?
Okay, so in case of that, if you want to add a image from your internal storage, you either you have to specify, wait a second. Okay, so suppose okay, let's take this, I don't know what that is. So you have to place it here, or you can drag and drop it here, it comes down here. Okay, so you can either drag and drop it here, or you can keep it like this. Okay, so from here there's different methods you can specify it. Okay, one of the method is you directly copy, click on properties and copy this location. Okay, so I copied the location and then added the name of that particular file. So what's the name of the file? This is landing logo at the 26.png. Okay, and now I think it will be available in browser. Is the path correct? I think. I think you have to use double slash for it. Let me check. No, it should work like this. Okay, if it doesn't work like this, you can use directly the name of, if it's in the same folder, you just type it and it loads it. Okay, or else you can type dot slash for it, and that's a standard practice. So dot and slash, So if it's in the same folder, if it's in some other folder, then dot slash assets or images, something like that. So you can get it like that. If you have it in laptop, if you have it other location, then I think that C1 is not working in my case. I don't know why, but it should work. I'll check that and let you know. Okay, Rudra, the path that it gave was correct only, if I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That,
correct. I don't know why it's not taking.
yeah, if you can try it in your laptop, I think it will work there.
Right now?
No, no, I like any of
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So the standard practice is to give it like this, and whenever if you're giving it to someone else, try to keep dot and slash. Dot means all,
Slash
and
is wrong. We should give another slash.
yeah. Okay, so if I keep create a folder here, so suppose if I create a folder assets here, so in case I'll show you.
See, in the in industries, we follow some convention. Like we create a folder, images folder. In that, images will be there. So it is very much easy to fetch the path. Okay.
Yeah, so see, whenever I move it with this path, you can see it's located in the assets folder, and it can be loaded like this. So it's better convention to keep dot and slash. That should be the initial two lines, and then the name of the file wherever it's located. So if you give this file to anyone in future, to any laptop, it will automatically load it. So if you give your file name, like if you give your path like C user, something like that, then it will be specific to your laptop. See, if I take the name like this, C user Anush desktop, so it will be specific to me. So if somebody's laptop's name is different, if it's Rudra's laptop, then it should be Rudra. I have to change that and modify image for all of the images. So to avoid such kind of thing, we use dot and slash. Okay. Okay, is it clear? Eh,
Yes.
okay, great. Okay, so these are the basic ones that are most important for an image. Okay. Drive path for image SRC is working for me. Okay, everything will work, I think. Okay, so all the SRC in online images all will work. They will work fine. They will be the best. Okay, so next we can go to the next tag. That's anchor tag. Okay, so how many of you know what's an anchor tag? I think most of you would know what's an anchor tag is. Okay, any one of you can unmute or just type it in chat. What's an anchor tag?
It's used to link a URL or yeah.
Okay, great. Used to link a URL. That's great. That's great. Link other HTML pages. Yeah, that's correct. It's basically a link to anywhere on internet. Okay. So what's the keyword for writing any link? If we have to specify, so suppose I have to click the link to a dog. I'll keep that image as dog only. Okay, so it won't be confusing. Okay, so suppose I have to specify a link here now. So what's the keyword for it? What's the attribute? href.
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 Yes, very good. So can anyone tell what's a dead link is? What a dead link is basically?
So it will not direct you to any page. It will keep rotating to the same page. That is a dead link.
Yes. So a dead link is basically whenever you create a link for it, if you specify it, it should redirect to the same page. Okay. So you can specify either hash or remove it. So whenever you are new to programming, it will reload this page if you use hash, but it's better to use hash so that it doesn't reload. Okay, so a date link is usually specified with a hash here. Okay, so just remember this is one of the terms that's used whenever you don't have content to that particular website, or it's in construction, or suppose you have a privacy policy and it's not there. Like you have made the complete website and they have told you that if you don't have the privacy policy, just specify hash. As of now, nobody is going to visit that. People barely go there. Okay, so whenever we are done writing that with our content writers, we can change that link directly. Okay, so suppose if you have privacy policy and various links here, so some people don't specify these and just keep it as hash. Okay, so you can do that later by just specifying hash. Okay, so that's how hash works. Okay, so as we have done this till here, so now clicking on images of dogs. So a place where, okay, you guys can give a link where there are multiple images of dogs. Okay, just give that in chat so we'll use it. Okay, and okay, I'll just Google it then. Okay, images of dog, and we'll put that link here. You can take a local link also if you want to link a particular page for it. Okay, now whenever I click this link, it opens up here. Okay, so you can see it works fine. If you click that link, if you go back, it will open this same site again, and when you click on it, it will go to this page. Okay, so in case if I want to open this images page on a next new tab, how will I do that?
We will use target attribute.
Underscore blank.
Okay, target and then
Underscore blank.
yes, very good. Okay, so this is a keyword, target underscore blank. Very good if you know this. Whenever you click target underscore blank, it opens the URL in the next page. So that's a better thing, because if the person is done with browsing through this page, like suppose he had to see dogs and he's done seeing the dogs, then he close this tab. He'll not close your website. So suppose in case if he sees the images and he wants suppose if it's on this page only, so he'll whenever he's done watching the dogs, he'll close it and you lost a user. So to avoid loss of users, we generally try redirecting into different pages with blank hash blank if that content is not related to your site. Okay, so suppose if you have a sponsor or anything like that, if you are organizing, whenever you see an hackathon, they always keep hash blank. Okay, so yeah, so you click on that logo and it goes to some other site. Okay, so that's how you keep it. There are many examples of it. There are hundreds of examples. Okay, now in case I want to link my first page with it. Okay, day 1 to day 2, whenever I click on this link, how will I do that? Like suppose this is day 1 .html, I have to open day 2 .html. This is day 2 .html, I have to open day 1 .html. How will I do that?
Dot slash or day1 HTML.
Yes. Okay, so there's amazing recommendation system of this VS Code. It automatically give you the specific page. Okay, and if you are wondering how I got these logos and everything, these are basically from extensions. If you need extensions, I'll tell them. I think that's Panda theme. Okay, so if you want to install that, I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, so we have linked day1.html. So now if we click, it will open the day1.html, whatever we had done on day 1 assignment. Okay, so that's how you do it. The same convention follows everywhere. You always try dot and slash and then the page link. Okay, that's a very good habit, and whenever you push it to GitHub, anybody can download it, and it will work for them. Okay. Okay, anything else other than, what are the other parameters present here? Okay, so if we click target, we got many parameters. What are the other ones? Okay, so dash parent, dash self, dash top. Okay, can any of that attribute we can explain? or you can try out each of them and tell me. Okay, that's one of the option. Okay, so I'll explain. Blank is basically, you have seen that if it redirects to the next page, opens up a new tag for it. So there's something called as self and blank, self and parent, which is not really important. It directs you to the context of that particular page. So suppose if you have context, like if you have written a context like this dog is doing something, and you want to link it to that place in the page only, so you can use self. And parent is something which is like a text which is written above, before this page or in some other page, and uh, it behaves, it's a child component nested in that component. So in that cases you generally use parent and self. And top is generally used whenever you when you have to move it to the top of the page. So suppose if you are in the bottom of the page, you can use dash top and it will move you to the highest context that's present. Okay, so wherever the first content is present, it will move it to that place. Okay, so like if it's the dog, if the first text we see here is the dog, so it will move it to that place. Okay, so most important is at the rate blank only, so that's one of the most important attribute, and that's it. Okay, suppose if my link is not, what else parameters do we have in anchor tag? Anyone? Yeah, so there are different types of headers which we specify in an anchor tag. So like basically whenever you have okay, when you go to APIs and everything, you have different kind of post, push kind of requests and everything. These kind of requests on a particular URL, you can have a push or pull or whatever kind of parameters. You have HTTP headers. If whenever you push it to a particular URL, it will show you that, like some website you see, you fill up a form, like a contact form on Zomato or anything like that. I don't know if there's a contact form there. No, there isn't. If you log in and then it shows. Okay, so whenever there's a contact form, yes, there's contact here. Yeah, so whenever there's a contact form or something like that, links present here, they do specify the header for it. So header is basically, it will the particular form will know what kind of content it is sending to that particular website. So whenever a particular, suppose what happens is whenever you fill up a form, this form is generally either gone to the marketing team so that they know that if particular person has given a feedback. So if it goes in mail, they should, the mailing system should know what kind of content it's coming. If it's not it should not take it as an image, it should take it as a text. So for that we basically have headers for it. So headers aren't that important as of now, because when we will study APIs and everything, then we'll focus more on it. But just for the basic understanding, I've told you what it is. Okay, so how will you make an image link? Image link. Okay, what do you say that is? Image with a link. Okay, whenever you click on an image, it should redirect to a page. So how would you do that? We have done both of them separately, the image and the link. Or if you want to click on this dog and it should redirect to the images of dog. So how would we do that?
We will place the image tag inside the anchor tag.
Yes, that's correct. Superb. Okay, so basically we'll take this and put it here. Okay, now if you click on this, it will open. Okay, so it's day one HTML. Okay, but yes, you understood that if whenever you click on this image, now image will redirect you to this page. Okay, so that's how it's done. That's how and if the URL is incorrect, still it will show it. Okay, so and even you can write text next to image, like if you can specify the text here. uh, Here is image, you will get the text next to it, but that looks weird. So you can avoid that. Instead you can use the image directly. Okay, so that's a better style. It looks better with respect to UI. Okay, so that's why. Okay, now you have a simple page where if you click on this dog, you get day1.html, but yes, you can specify the link to that page. Okay. Okay, any doubt regarding this? Anyone has any doubts, you can just tell till now. href or anything. What's the meaning of href or anything? A means an anchor tag. imgsrc means image and source. Source means the place where it's coming from, and I think rest of it is self-explanatory. Width, height, and alt is basically where how what's the image about. Okay. Okay. Any doubts? Anything? No. Okay. Rudra, anything you want to add up?
No, no. Actually, I think so. Someone asked question what HRF is doing.
Okay. So href is basically redirecting you to that particular website page, link, anything you want. So that's done by it. Anything you want, it will do that. Rest, I think. Okay. Target underscore blank. Everybody answered that. Okay. Basically, whenever you have to redirect it to any page, or you have to, like, suppose you remember this nav bar is there everywhere. You see nav bar. So if you want to click on login, it should open up this page. So how would you do that? For href, using href only you can open this here. Otherwise, for every login you have to have a different site, and you have to tell them, like, you have seen whenever you download a movie, they specify that go to this site and download it. Click on this link, then you copy that link, like this copy, and then you paste it. So to avoid that kind of thing, we can just directly type the text here and we'll open that particular site here for you. Okay, so I think that's clear. Okay, so moving on, we can go with lists in HTML. So, okay, can anyone tell what kind of lists are present in HTML? Two lists basically.
Ordered and unordered.
Okay, great. Ordered and unordered. Very good. Okay, everybody knows that unordered, ordered also. Great. That's completely great. Okay, so suppose if you want to have an ordered list, use OL. And how do we specify the various elements of the ordered list? Like if you want 1, 2, 3, 4. So how, like if I want to write characteristics of dog, in case. Okay, so I'll write. So how would I do that? Yeah, li we can use. That's correct. And till then I'll just write h3 and character sticks. Wait. Okay, so we can go ahead with writing one of them. Loyal. Okay. Okay, come on, name some of them. I'll write. Okay, fluffy. Okay, so I know two of them. Okay, so we get that, but it's aligned onto the right side. So we'll remove center and see how it looks. Okay, so see, it gets aligned like this, loyal and fluffy, with 1 and 2. Now, in case I don't want this, I want it in numerals, Roman numerals. So how would I do it? Like currently I have it in, like, orders can be different. So suppose we have numbers, like we can see numbers like this. So we have numbers like 1, 2. Okay, we also have I, 2I, 3I, I4, and we also have capital I, same like this. Okay, we also have A, B, C, D. So how would we do that? we are only getting like 1 to right now. So anyone knows how to do that? Okay, so there's a specific keyword.
Type attribute.
Yes, very good. So there's a type attribute. So you get different options here. VS Code automatically recommends it, but if it doesn't, you can just search it on net. Okay. So by default it shows one. You can have capital A, small a, I, small I. I missed one capital once. Okay. So if I specify this, so I can see 1, 2 in Roman numeral. Okay. So other than this, if suppose I want my numbers to start from uh, 5 from here. So suppose specify it 1, and I want to start it from 10. The character sheet should start from 10 because 5 I have specified already. In case, let's assume that I have specified 5 already, and I want to it from start from 50 from here, or from 10. Okay. So I specify 10, and it takes the first value as 10. So whenever you have to specify the list to start from 10, you just type start equal to 10, and it will start from that particular place. Okay, so this is a very, it's not very useful characteristic. I know this is barely used anywhere. The important one is type attribute, so do remember the type attribute, and rest of it is not that important. Okay. Okay. Okay, so other list, how, what's the tag used for the other list? Like if you have to make an ordered list, yes, start equal 10. Very good. Okay, type equal a. Very good, very good. Okay, so if you have to make an unordered list, what's the tag? UL. Very good. Okay, great. Sadhna, Lisa, Shrishti, and Arhita. Very good. Okay, Arpita and Varao. Okay, good, good. Email. Very good. Okay, so there's UL. Now I have to change the type. Okay, so the type can't be this. Let's see what's the default one, then we'll go with the type attribute in this. So we get bullets here. Okay, so now we have got a bullet here. Okay, so now if you want to change it, what's the different parameters we have? Circle, yes, we have circle. Sorry. Okay, so yes, we get the circle. Okay, so there are different attributes. Can anyone tell if a emoji works here, if we use an emoji from internet? Like if you go to emoji, okay, and if we try that, does the emoji work here? If you specify the emoji here, will it work? No, it won't. Okay, so that's a disadvantage of it. You can't specify anything you want. Okay, but if you have to add it manually, you can do it like this. You can paste it here like this and have it. Okay, so that's a way of doing it. Then you won't require li or something like that. Okay, so you can copy emojis also from internet and add them. Okay, if anyone of you wants that, so just copy it and paste. Any of the browsers can be used for it. I recommend Emojipedia, this website is really good for it. You can get almost every emoji from here. Okay. Okay, so other than type UL, what other types do we have? Anyone? Square, very good. Okay, so you get a small square. If it's visible, tell me. If it's not visible, I'll just zoom in a bit. The code also, and this page also if you want. Okay, so now it must be square. Okay, so these are the two attributes. One is, and the default one is, one of the attribute also is none. So in case if you want to make a link for a nav bar. Okay, so whenever we have links like this, if this is in this case also this is a list, but in this list you don't have attributes here, like the li tag is there, but it's a list. I think most probably it's a list. If it's not, yeah, see, it's an li, so it's an unordered list with equal to none. I think I need to scroll too long for that. Wait a second, I'll just expand and see if it's none. No, it's not. I think they haven't specified it. Okay, okay, they have changed it using css, so you can do that using css also. Remove this value from css also. So ul li equal n in most of the cases when we have links, when navbar links, footer links, everything here is done through type equal none. Okay, so this is one of the important features whenever you are making a navbar. Do remember it. So now if you want to insert a link here, you can directly do it using this anchor tag. Just type and wrap it around an anchor tag and you will get a link to it. Okay, so is this clear? Any doubts in list?
Sir, we can also use table head and table data kind for specifying the.
Tables, yes, we can. Yeah, you can create tables like this. So in tables, whenever you have to create tables, you have to have two things, two major components. You have to have rows, you have to have columns. So how would we do that? So if you want to create a table, so we have one t header that choose to specify the header, then we have table rows, and we have the table data. Okay, so these are the three attributes that are most important. You have to nest them properly and use it. Okay, so whenever you have to create a simple table, you have to specify each of them properly. So okay, so if any one of you knows how to create a table, what's the default, what's the first thing we write whenever you create a table after the table word keyword? Okay. Nested. Okay, okay, so basically we have to, every time whenever we create it, we have to use tr, which is table row. Yes, very good, very good. All of you told tr, very good, very good. So important is whenever whenever any in a table, everything is considered as a row. If it's header or if it's a table data, anything which you consider, it's a row. So tr always means table row, and th means table header. Okay, so I think most of these terms are similar because the abbreviations are the name of that particular tag. So suppose we create first name of dog, of course. Okay, then we have last name, so specifically we specify the last name. Okay, okay, so we are done with the headers. If we click save, okay, yes, so you can see first name, last name getting here, but we don't get the shape of the table. Like if we have any table, we always see a border around it. Why aren't we seeing a border around it? Does anyone know that? Why it's not showing that border around it? You always have something border or something like that around it. So how to specify that? No. Okay, so to do that we have to use a css for it. Okay, so generally in html you don't get a header directly here. You have to solid or type style or anything like that. Using the style attribute we can specify it. So if it's not done like that, we can avoid it. We'll, whenever we start css next week, we'll do it through css. Okay, okay, so once we are done, we can add values now. Okay, so here's first value. Okay, okay, my dog's name is Maple, and of course we have given him our surname. So okay, anyone else's dog we can add the values here. Sure, you can specify if you have a dog. You can add the value here. Rudra, do you have a dog or any animal?
No.
Sad. Okay. Any one of you has a dog or anything? Any animal? You can give details for him. We'll add that also here. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Sad. Okay. I know parents must have not agreed to it, so that's okay. Okay, so we'll keep another one. We'll name it Bruno. Something like Bruno Doggy. I have no surname for it. So yes, you can see it comes in a table kind of format. Okay. So in case if we want a particular, like if you have not specified a particular data here, so suppose I don't have the surname for it. So if I keep it blank, it will show no details for it here. Okay. So whenever you miss out a particular details, it won't show that there. Okay. In case if we want a table to be center aligned, you directly use align center here. Same thing. Like p attribute, it also automatically aligns it to the center. Okay. So you can do that for it. And what else? Okay, with I'll teach you css basic. If you want the border for it, you use a style attribute here, and you can use table and use braces for it, and then you use border dash 1px. Okay, so I'll specify the color for it also, solid black. Okay, so solid means the type of border it has, and 1px is the width of it. So if you create it 5, it will get bolder. So this is more of a kind of a table. Okay, so if for demonstration purposes I sure this is a table, so it comes in that format. You don't have to learn, we'll learn css in next phase, so don't worry, next week. Okay. Okay, everybody is clear with this? I think yes. Okay, great. So, and I think today's part is done. Any doubts or anything, you can just message. You can just tell us. Okay. Any doubts, anything regarding tables or anything. We'll study complex tables tomorrow, like cold span and row span, like that. So we can do that tomorrow. Today we will not have homework. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. Everything. Any doubts? Anything? Rudra, do you want to add anything?
No, no.
Okay. Okay. So as we are done, if do you want to learn cold span also today, or should we do it tomorrow? Okay, you can type out in chat if you want. We'll finish cold span also. Just 2 lines. Okay. What Rudra? You can go on, go on. Okay, so if you want, we'll do that also. Mm. So basically, yeah, if you have to do cold span, or head, you just specify to a particular place cold span, and you can specify the number. So how many columns does this want to occupy? So if you want to give it a 2 column value, then you can give it 2. If you want to give it a 3 column value, you can give it a 3. So that's how it's done. It's not an important attribute as of now. Like if you have a distorted table, and if you want that, for those cases we use cold span basically. So like in case, suppose if you add an extra data here, okay, like hello, and we'll write one more data. So that comes in last name attribute only. So this comes in under same value because it has a call span of 2 letters, so it can expand up to add up to 2 words here. Okay, so this is acting like a unit. So this is 1 unit, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. These 2 units are not visible, but these are present. So basically it adds a particular unit to it. So if you want, you can have 4 values here, but if you remove call span, you can see these what happens to these elements. So these come under a new table. If you want to keep it under the same table, last name, so you use call span for it. So this comes under the same table. So whenever you have multiple values, you use call span. Similarly, row span is similar to this. So whenever you when you want multiple rows here, so you use row span for it. So but the most important is call span. So if you have understood it, that's more than enough. Okay. Okay. So as we are done, we have completed row span, call span also. Okay. I'll stop the recording.